Hey guys, welcome back to the business of art. I am here again with Mike from Stonecoat. So we were talking and he brought up a really good subject of how he 10x'd his Etsy store. So I wanted him to talk to you guys about that because I know a lot of you are trying to sell more in your online stores. And he gave a really good bonus about that. So go ahead and let's tell these guys about that.
How do you 10x your Etsy store? Do I have your attention? Check this out. It's very simple. I build live edge wood slab tables, dining table size, river tables, and those kind of things. I've been doing that for a long time, but I put my tables up on Etsy. And if you go on Etsy and look up live edge slab table,
so much competition, yeah.
You're in a sea. You're in a sea. And just like art, I've sold my art online on different art websites.
He's an oil painter, guys. A really, really
knows
good one.
that.
Well, now they do. A really good one.
You know, you're in a sea of competition. Really, how do you set yourself apart? Because you can't say, well, mine's just better, because that's in the eye of the beholder. So you just need to get in front of the right eyes and hold that attention. And so what I did is I'd start setting up my camera when I'm working. And I set it up when I build my river table. And I brought my audience or my potential buyer into my shop with me via the camera. And I talked to them. I said, hey guys, here's what I'm doing. I built value in the process because I taught them how I went above and beyond. I taught them how I reinforced it. I taught them how it would be, it would create longevity. I show them pictures of other ones that I've done, or here's other ones in my shop, so they knew this isn't my first rodeo. And because of those videos, my stuff never sat on Etsy longer than 2 weeks. And if it did, then I knew I was overpriced, because I was giving them the process, I was giving them the value, and then I'm not the most expensive, but I'm certainly not the cheapest.
Yeah.
And then I realized where to price my product, and then how much inventory I had. So that helped me 10x my sales on Etsy, where I absolutely made a living shipping my tables all over the United States.
Cool. That is a really good tip. And where did you post these videos?
I just attached a link in the descriptions of Etsy. I don't know if they still allow you to do that.
I think so.
But
yeah, so you could be like, how this table is made.
Yeah.
Check this out. I think you may even be able to add some video clips onto Etsy. I don't know I don't think for an individual listing, but maybe for your whole store.
You want me to give you even more bonus tips?
Yes.
So your first picture on Etsy, thumbnail style of the project, and don't like stage it. You're staging a house, right? So stage your work, but have the thumbnail say, have you seen my video process? Or
there you go.
Check out the video. Like, let them know you have a video on this piece. Now they're watching it. So lead them, like, nothing in your description should be anything but the video first. Because if they watch the video, then they'll care about the description. If they don't see that video link, they're moving on. Because your video description means nothing until they're attached to that art.
Cool. All right, I have another question for you.
Okay.
These are some most commonly asked questions, okay? You mentioned pricing, right? That you weren't the most expensive and you weren't the cheapest. How did you price your tables? Like, what was your process on that?
You know, at first I wanted to make $20 an hour. That was my goal. I had never made $20 an hour in my life consistently.
Okay.
And so I knew it took me 16 hours to make an average table. I priced my table that way. I would figure out my materials, and then I would add $20 an hour. And I had no problem. That was easy. So when I would sell one at $20 an hour, I go to 25, 30, 40, 50, $100 an hour, $200 an hour, because the process got better. I got more refined. I got faster. But I think the biggest part of that is don't be greedy up front. But if you taught me something, you told me if I love it, it's more expensive.
Yeah.
it's how. But you know, you're either in this as a hobby or you're in it as a business. And when you mix the two, it's tough, because all artists are going to get super attached to what they're making. I get that, but you can always create it again.
Yeah, and for me, that's only like 1 out of every 100 pieces. That'll be like, oh my gosh, I really like this. It's more of a how much I like it tags. So it's not that I'm not willing to let it go, but if I like it that much that I'd be okay with keeping it for the rest of my life, you're going to have to pay a little extra for it.
I always did it by the hour. I needed to feed my kids.
Yeah.
You know, and so I did it by the hour, and I did very well with that. And now, because of our YouTube channel, we get offered insane amount of money for our pieces that
And
they're not worth that much.
Right now,
I won't sell them for that much because
Yeah.
I would feel like I'm doing that person a disservice because I'm teaching them to make it.
Yeah.
Go make it. You don't want mine. Make your own. So.
Did you take your area into consideration in the pricing? Because like I live in Los Angeles, which is insanely expensive. I mean, my rent could buy an entire like 4-bedroom house in other,
in Oregon.
Yeah, in Oregon or in Texas or whatever. It could buy a huge house, right? And I'm in this little tiny house. It's like not even good, and I pay an extreme amount. So I do have to factor that in. Did you factor that in, or was that not really an issue?
I did see, because my cost of living is so low, my shop is on my property. I didn't have any crazy bills because we cut all the fat. We were just living on what we made. So we were very humble in that respect. So I didn't have high bills, which made it possible.
Okay.
Especially in the beginning. So if that's your number one source of income, maybe you need to start it as a side hustle. Don't quit your job until you've proven you can do this and you're not stressed. It's no fun working so stressed out. But I also quickly realized that the United States of America was my sales showroom, like because of Etsy. Mm-hmm. Etsy made it possible for me to get in touch with people in Kentucky and New York and San Francisco and everywhere else.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Well, I hope this is really helpful to everyone trying to sell online. And these tips, while we're talking about Etsy specifically, they could be used in anywhere. Like if you're selling art on Facebook or, on Fine Art America or wherever. These are universal tips. So showing your process really helps, and I found that myself. I don't have to market my Etsy store because I have my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel does free marketing for my Etsy store. Mm-hmm. So I don't worry about my Etsy store. I set it and forget it, and then people buy stuff, and it's awesome. I don't do any marketing like I used to. And then just in terms of pricing, so materials, and then however much you want to pay yourself hourly. For me, I also factored in living costs because I live in an extremely expensive city. So if you live in like New York City, right, or something, you probably have to factor that in. Otherwise, you may not need to.
Can I say one more thing? So a little tad bit of knowledge on any algorithm or any social media platform. When you drive traffic to that platform as opposed to pulling it off. Mm-hmm. So if you drive traffic to Etsy and you sell on Etsy, Etsy's going to start putting you higher in the queue. And they're going to start showing your stuff more. So if you want to use that national platform as something, you can't create a website and drive traffic like Etsy already has it.
Right.
But help them. Go on all your social media, say, go check out my newest listing on Etsy. Get an influx of traffic. It'll serve you well. Or on YouTube or on Facebook. They all like it. When you pull people away, you'll get buried.
Yeah.
So.
Very true. All right. So thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you guys next time.